Coming up on AgweekTV, a grain company develops innovative storage after devastating storms wiped out grain bins across the region. Our corn and soybean tour continues with a check on how the crops are doing in eastern North Dakota. Sugarbeet growers come together to help a friend harvest after a devastating health diagnosis. And a Minnesota farm is getting ready to grow crops all year round. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. The June 20th storm that devastated the region destroyed countless grain bins, elevators, and grain storage sites, leaving many farmers anxious about where their crops would be stored this harvest season. In this week's AgWeek cover story, I traveled to Ayer, North Dakota, where the Arthur companies have been hard at work since the storm, building unique grain storage that will be ready just in time for harvest season.
This was a direct reflection of the storm's devastation that we had in June.
Just 2 days after the storm, the Arthur companies came together and decided to build 2 flat-lay bunkers at their Ayer location.
We realized that we needed to do something that, with the lack of farm storage and the damage that the farms around here sustained, we needed to step up and make sure that there was a home for grain this fall. So we broke ground beginning of July on 2 1.5 million bushel flat storage bunkers to be able to take grain this fall as effectively as possible.
The Arthur companies had their eyes set on the new site being open in time for this year's harvest, which proved to be a tall order to fill.
You know, it was difficult, but what we did is when we approached all the different contractors through this process, the millwright crews through this process, the question, obviously price is a factor, but it was, can you be done by September 21st? If you can't be done by September 21st, then we're going to move on to the next person.
Jim Thompson raises corn, soybeans, hard red spring wheat, and dry edible beans. The summer storm claimed all of his dry edible bean crop. He also had 3 irrigation pivots upended and lots of tree damage. He says this new location, just a 3-mile trot from his farmstead, will give him more options this harvest season and more chances for profitability.
The storms that went through in June really did a number on a lot of people's operations up here. So in the midst of the chaos, Arthur Company stepped up and decided that they were going to invest in not only the grain market around here, but in basically investing in all of us growers and producers.
Thompson believes the storm taught a valuable lesson.
What we've all learned is not to just rely on what you've always been doing. We've had these small bins that we just quit using and just too much of a hassle to work with, and now we've decided that they're all pretty valuable, and anything we can use for storage is going to be valuable. But then to have a facility like this open up and kind of relieve some of that pressure gives producers time to pause, think about things, maybe rework their system and reevaluate their game plan going forward.
You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. When moving calves off of pasture and onto the feed yard, you have to worry about what things they may have picked up on the pasture, specifically stomach worms. Deworming is one of the management practices that Russ Dahley, South Dakota State University Extension veterinarian, says has the most economic impact for cattle producers.
In most cases, it's not a question of do we want to do it, is it going to be worth it to do it, because in most cases it is. When I do the calculations of like the most expensive deworming programs and compare that with what the weight gains of dewormed calves over control calves are, it doesn't take much of a weight gain to make that pay off.
However, there are some issues with parasite resistance to dewormers. Daly recommends that if a producer has been using one single deworming product, it might be time for a new dewormer to be added to the lineup. Up next on AgweekTV, our corn and soybean tour continues with a look at how the crops are faring in the Red River Valley.
The Prairie Revolution Ditcher is the new standard for surface water management. The Revolution Ditcher leaves a smooth finished 5-foot flat bottom cut and cuts up to 10 inches in one pass. Throw dirt in either direction, up to 165 feet. Now with the hydraulic cross auger to break up dirt and keep you working faster. Check out the Revolution Ditcher at Crary.com.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, affordable health insurance, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
When it comes to grain storage and handling, Brock Solid Bins from Gateway Building Systems are built for the bushel. Gateway's expert team will help you maximize profits and keep your operation up and running. Gateway is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Don't wait. Expand your operation and plan for your future. Call Gateway Building Systems at 800-747-4499 or visit gatewaybuilding.com today.
What if someone told you how to save money at the gas pump, support the American economy, and how to protect our environment all at the same time? You'd be all ears. It's ethanol, of course, made from renewable American corn. Available in E10, U88, and other great blends. It's clean burning, produced here in North Dakota, and your affordable choice at the pump.
With Weber Inbound, good help is never hard to find. Power your workforce solution through the H-2A Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program. We'll handle the details, so you can focus on bigger things. Find Labor Inbound at Big Iron.
The AgWeek Corn and Soybean Tour is sponsored by Bremer Bank, Crary Ag, North Dakota Corn Council, and the North Dakota Corn Growers Association.
Our corn and soybean tour continues this week in the Red River Valley. I took a look at the soybean crop in eastern North Dakota.
So in that first month, this crop itself saw pretty much all the weather we could expect in a whole summer in 1 month.
The soybean crop in eastern North Dakota dealt with all sorts of weather right after being planted. That's according to Ben Shepard, a regional agronomist with Peterson.
We went through everything from 100-degree heat, high winds, then we had wind or rain, and lows down into the mid-30s. So I'd say it hung in there pretty well. All things considered, a little bit of drown out in the low spots. I would say I would have taken some more heat in June and July. I think everybody would have. In these last 3 weeks, we've really caught up. Yesterday, I was surprised to see 90 degrees outside. So everything's finished very, very fast. So combines will be rolling in this field this week.
Disease and pest pressure were not too terrible this year, as they came later in the growing season.
Not so much on the disease side with the soybeans. We had a little bit of white mold come in late. Then also on the pest side, some aphid pressure in areas that seemed very localized this year, and that also came in late, more at the R5, R6 time. Some growers did opt to spray, some didn't. Like I said, just how late that came in, it was more of a farmer decision on that.
Shepard predicts the soybean yields to be anywhere from the mid-40s with the potential of getting into the 50s.
It really comes down to drainage with some of those big rain events we had this summer. So that'll be really the factor in all of these fields in this area, is just how well we could manage that water when we got it.
Our tour continues next week. Some soybean growers are taking export marketing into their own hands. Tariffs imposed by the Trump administration have cost sales to China and driven prices down. Soybeans are Minnesota's largest ag export, totaling over $3 billion in sales last year. A large percent of them are sold to China, but Glenn Groth is still optimistic. He's chair of Northern Soy Marketing, the farmer leader board formed by the soybean checkoff boards of Minnesota and South Dakota. This week, he hosted soybean buyers from Indonesia, Vietnam, and Thailand in the hope of developing new customers.
The Indonesian group actually are a group of poultry producers looking to set up a buying group to purchase U.S. soybean meal. So we're very excited to have their interest in U.S. soybean meal, and especially soybean meal exported out of the PNW, where a lot of Minnesota's soybeans are travel through to make it to Southeast Asia.
The tour started at the University of Minnesota Soybean Research Plots and Lab in St. Paul. They also toured a crush plant before continuing to South Dakota. Across much of South Dakota, corn diseases have been worse than normal this year. Ariana Schumacher attended a South Dakota State University Extension corn disease workshop to learn more.
Moisture has brought on more diseases in areas of South Dakota.
It's been a great year for a lot of places. And then some places have actually had too much rain, honestly. But more moisture and more humidity leads to more disease.
Tar spot disease has been in the United States for around 10 years and was first seen in South Dakota in 2022. Last year, it was reported in 46 South Dakota counties, as well as areas of North Dakota.
The two Dakotas are kind of watching how it's moving and how it's spreading because, it's new to us and we don't know exactly how it's going to act here.
Tar spot has been varying in severity across South Dakota.
Here in Watertown, in this plot, we're not seeing too terribly much tar spot. It's just a few leaves on a couple of plants, mostly on field borders. However, in other isolated areas right now, we're starting to see it kind of crop up in Brown County and Grant County.
It's too late in the season to spray for tar spot.
We're past the spray period for it, but it is a little bit concerning because we're wondering about overwintering potential for it.
While tar spot has been a big concern this year, the worst disease in the area has been southern rust. Both are wind-blown diseases.
So it's really hard to predict if they're going to be a problem every year. And it also means we don't see them all the time.
Having a disease workshop allows participants to see diseases firsthand.
It's really important for people to kind of get that hands-on experience. So if it shows up next year or it shows up earlier, they can actually, know what it is and be able to make management plans a little bit faster. You lose a little bit in translation whenever you have pictures of a disease versus actually getting to put your hands on it and look at a leaf and say, oh, that's what that looks like.
Near Watertown, South Dakota, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
If you see disease in your fields, Shire says to reach out to her or the Plant Diagnostic Lab at South Dakota State University. Ahead on AgweekTV, Sugarbeet growers turn out in force to help a friend in need.
You got salty soils? We can help. Let's talk.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
As your farm evolves, so do the challenges that come with it. At Superior Grain Equipment, our systems are built to make your job easier and help your grain reach its full potential. From gentle drying to durable storage, get the flexibility to market your grain on your time. Superior Grain Equipment, proven solutions to help you grow.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
Farming is more than a career. It's a lifestyle, a calling, and a badge of honor. That's why it's important to have a banking partner who doesn't just understand the farming industry, they understand your farm. At Bremer Bank, we've spent more than 80 years working side by side with farmers like you to help you invest in and grow your operation. Season after season, from one generation to the next.
You got salty soils? We can help. Let's talk.
AgWeek weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
What does the month of October have in store for us when it comes to weather? Here's Lydia with our AgriWeather Outlook.
After making big differences in our drought conditions over the course of the spring into the summer, we're once again starting to get a little bit dry, especially across the corn belts. Even southern Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, all covered in drought conditions. Now locally, a little bit closer to home, we've made those vast improvements over the past few months, but now we've been a little bit dry. And I do have an area of abnormally dry conditions kind of spreading through northern Minnesota, up through the Beltrami County area toward Lake of the Woods, stretching all the way down close to about Alexandria and the I-94 corridor. North Dakota is actually one of the only states in the country that has no drought conditions listed, although we could use a little drink of water. Soil health is looking okay, though. That's what these drought conditions are monitoring. And then we do have abnormally dry once again as you travel further to the south of I-90 down in South Dakota. Harvest season is upon us. Wheels are really starting to turn, especially for canola and for soybeans. I have heard of corn starting to get going in far northern Minnesota. But it's really dry out there. And the soybeans, I've heard reports of moisture down to about 8%. So that's leading to a lot of dust being thrown up in the air. As you can see with this picture, this is Galchute, North Dakota, kind of in the southeastern parts of the state. Ruben sent in this picture and all of that dust is flying. This is also a picture from Lemoore County, North Dakota. So south central, southeastern parts of the state, where obviously you are very dusty there as well. So I want you to think about fire danger, fire risk, especially for areas that just kind of miss out, or specific fields that miss out on any rain chances as we head into the next couple of weeks. Anytime you have wind gusts between about 30 to 40 miles an hour, plus the low humidity and the dry conditions, that's enough to bring up at least a fire risk. Something to think about. Want you to be careful with equipment and any sort of sparky materials. As we look forward to the next couple of weeks, there are signals that we start getting a little bit of rain, at least opportunities for rain. You're starting to notice more greens on this map, especially the further southeast that you go, indicating a shift in the jet stream. It'll cool us off a little bit. We won't be seeing 80s and 90s that we have been seeing over the past week and record-setting temperatures. We'll notice a little bit of a cool down and then opportunities for a little bit of rain. Some spots will miss out. So again, specific fields may end up being a little bit drier. That's where we'll have to continue to watch out for that fire risk. Looking at your temperatures, this takes us all the way to October 11th, and we start to see hints at a cool down out west. Looking at Rocky Mountains down through California, where near normal temperatures are expected. We're slightly above. As I showed you this last week, though, we had that big red bubble right over us, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and that's why we have seen, or that's what's been really noticeable in the past week or so, with 80-degree days to about 90-degree days. Now we'll cool off a little bit. Still slightly above average for this time of year. For a lot of us, that means upper 60s to lower 70s into the middle of October.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson. Seed smarter, grow stronger.
At Advanced Grain Handling, we know downtime is not an option. Whether you need a short-term repair or a redesign for the future of your farm operation, Advanced Grain is here to help. We have inventory in stock and crews ready to get you up and running. Advanced Grain is your one-stop shop for site repairs, expansions, and full system builds. Call us today at 701-788-8925.
With labor inbound, good help is never hard to find. Power your workforce solution through the H2A Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program. We'll handle the details, so you can focus on bigger things. Find labor inbound at Big Iron.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brent does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of Brent products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
What if someone told you how to save money at the gas pump, support the American economy, and how to protect our environment all at the same time? You'd be all ears. It's ethanol, of course, made from renewable American corn. Available in E10, U88, and other great blends. It's clean burning, produced here in North Dakota, and your affordable choice at the pump.
More than 100 farmers and drivers paused their own harvest to come together and help one of their own, a fellow farmer who got the brutal diagnosis of ALS this summer. Reporter Kevin Wallivan has more near Chirac, Minnesota.
The morning sun struggled to break through the fog, but not long after sunrise, you could see Sugarbeet lifters, tractors, and truck drivers come through the mist. They all came today for their popular friend and farmer, Mark Holy, a giant of a man in size, personality, and heart.
He's very strong. What he believes in, he stands by it. I'm very proud of him.
Today, he and his family watched as fellow farmers, more than 100, made quick work of 400 acres of beets.
It's bittersweet. I wish I could do it, but God has a plan.
It was just July that Mark was diagnosed with ALS. It's progressed quickly. Time is short, and while it has robbed so much, the disease hasn't taken away Mark's grateful spirit.
I want to say thank you to everybody, and thank you so much. It helped my family at a time we're hurting.
Son Ryan will soon be taking over the farm. He was out lifting beets today.
Yeah, nice crop. Yep.
He watched longtime neighbors show up for his family, asking for nothing in return, except maybe a little lunch brought to their truck.
It's a great place. Great neighbors, great families, great people. Yep.
It means everything. You don't want to have a horrible disease like this, but when people step up like this, we were just amazed. We were so thankful. This is love in action.
The thing is, so many farmers offer to help, they had to cut off the trucks at 95.
They're all harvesting themselves, so for them to take a day out of their busy schedule to come and help us it means the world to us. It really does.
Because I thought everybody's going to be digging beans, but they just said, no, we'll be there. And the friends and neighbors just said, we'll be there, and they all pitched in. It was really nice. Very, very nice.
Ryan says neighbors will harvest most of the sugar beet crop today, but not all. A few acres will sit for a couple of weeks as the family marks their journey into their father's own season of autumn.
It's kind of why we're leaving some beets for ourselves this year, just so we can do it one last time together. Hopefully you can be out in the field and just one more.
By the time harvest was going full speed today, that fog started to lift, revealing a field of abundance. Neighbors proving what it means to give and live.
It's just, it's unbelievable.
For AgWeek, this is Kevin Wallivan reporting in rural Polk County.
While farmers and drivers brought in beets from 3 different fields, other volunteers made meals for the crew. Up next on AgweekTV, a Minnesota farm is getting ready for its first winter growing season.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brent does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of Brent products, give us a call at 361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
Farming is more than just a job. It's a way of life. It's your hard work, your investment, your future. At Superior Grain Equipment, we're here to protect it all. From durable grain storage to gentle drying and handling solutions. We build systems designed to last, and we stand by you with service and support every step of the way. Superior Grain Equipment, proven solutions to help you grow.
Farming is more than a career. It's a lifestyle, a calling, and a badge of honor. That's why it's important to have a banking partner who doesn't just understand the farming industry, they understand your farm. At Bremer Bank, we've spent more than 80 years working side by side with farmers like you to help you invest in and grow your operation. Season after season, from one generation to the next.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, affordable health insurance, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
A southeast Minnesota farm is ready to grow through the winter. Owl Bluff Farm has a new deep winter greenhouse built in partnership with the University of Minnesota Extension. The farm grows a variety of certified organic vegetables. Since they bought the farm in 2018, they've added multiple high tunnels. Daniel Handine was the lead designer on the greenhouse.
It fills a niche. I'm not going to say that this is the perfect answer to anything, but it's definitely part of the spectrum of production possibilities and technologies, ranging all the way from low tunnels to high tunnels to, the deep winter greenhouse or, even warehouse or large like hydroponic style operations. It's all part of a spectrum of possible production methods.
It's just been fun to start to talk to the community of other existing greenhouse producers and learn more about how they use their greenhouses and just start experimenting with what grows well in there.
The University of Minnesota Extension has a lot of information about deep winter growing on its website. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Arthur Companies has expanded into Minnesota and into aerial application with a pair of purchases. And columnist Darla Tyler McSherry explains the advantages of a colorful diet. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.